Hail Stalkers, this is Derek Klein, and we're in the Hail Palace today, and we're watching storms now beginning to fire here. We've got the radar fired up today. Memorial Day, hope everybody's enjoying their Memorial Day. Again, special shout out to those that have served our country. Not only served our country, but definitely lost their life serving our country. Those are the ones that we're remembering today. So we definitely want to remember them as we go through our afternoon and enjoy the rest of our holiday, the freedoms that we're allowed to have. But today we do have severe weather, and so we're tracking that live for you right now here in the live weather center here in the Hail Palace. So we've got storms, several of them. We're going to look at a couple of different spots, and then depending on what happens over the next couple of minutes as we're live, we'll either stay live or we'll jump back off of the live feed, and then we'll come back live as storms ask us to do that. So we'll take a look at it. So a couple of spots that we're going to take a look at here first. We're going to jump right now. We're going to start actually up here in the Minneapolis area. So let's go ahead and zoom on in here. We'll take a look. We had a couple of severe thunderstorms. This guy right here in general was our first one, actually lifted kind of to the northeast here, right at Minneapolis. Now, unfortunately, conditions aren't exactly the most conducive for large hail in Minneapolis, but we did have a couple of quarters. We can see we've even got a dime report, some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds also reported here. And there are still a few other heavy, just below severe limit, heavy thunderstorms right here. So we might see some more dimes and pennies back here across different parts of southern Minnesota. These will all continue to move to the northeast towards Minneapolis. Look at that. 100 degrees in Minneapolis today, so it's a scorcher out there, and that's actually not gonna create the best conditions for hail this afternoon in Minneapolis. But we'll continue to watch this area. For now, we're going to jump back down to the south, and we're actually going to take a look here at Iowa, where we've had a couple of severe thunderstorms. We've got right up here, just to the north of Webster City. Here we go, right here, Webster City. We've had this storm. It's had a potential to produce some severe hail off and on, and then a couple of these other scattered thunderstorms right in here as they lifted to the north actually produced a little bit of isolated quarter-size hail. We'll have to watch this one here. This little guy right here on the east side of Des Moines will be worth watching just to see, can it take off. So again, conditions over here, there's a lot of moisture and a lot of instability, but not a lot of wind shear. So we don't exactly have all the ingredients to make everything kind of come together and produce a lot of severe hail, but we could see a couple of severe thunderstorms that might produce at least some severe hail as we go through the afternoon and evening. So we'll have to take a look, keep an eye on these storms. There you go, just got a severe thunderstorm warning pop up here for that storm north of Webster City. That's the one we just talked about, and the National Weather Service there in Des Moines saw that as well and decided to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll actually take a look at it here while we got it, and it looks like, again, winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail possible with this thunderstorm. Again, we'll kind of go in and analyze this a little deeper to see if it's actually producing that size of hail or if it's just more in the dime to nickel size range. Again, with conditions not very favorable, it's going to be tough to actually get these storms to produce that quarter-size hail, but they'll be worth watching, and we'll see what happens. As we head back to the west here, we're going to head back into parts of northern Kansas. So here we've got I-70 running straight across. So we've got Junction City, Manhattan, Salina right here, and then I-70. We've got right out here, we've got Hayes is right here. And then if we keep going all the way out, we've got Colby, and then Goodland is out here a little bit further to the west. These storms have had a history, and right now they're actually maybe trending down just a little bit, but these storms have actually had a history of producing up to tennis ball size hail. A lot of golf ball and tennis ball size hail reports have come in with these. This is a pretty nasty line, and if these storms continue to kind of break into isolation, you can see right here we've got a little inflow notch. Look at this right here. So the air is coming up and sucking into this storm right here. That's what this little notch is right here. So this right now is the storm to watch. It's even got a tornado warning on it because of that inflow. That's allowed it to spin a little bit. And back here to the west, we have a little bit more wind shear with a trough that's kicking in out of the Rocky Mountains, and this is creating the conducive and favorable environment for very large hail. So that's what we're going to continue to watch these. These storms up here to the north, I think they may try to weaken. We'll have to watch this one up here, the furthest one to the north, so headed towards Smith Center, Kansas here. But if you can kind of see, it has a little bit of an inflow notch on the north side. So we'll have to watch that one. Again, doesn't look exactly the most favorable setup. But mainly with these storms back down here to the southwest, this is where we've got to watch. So we've got a really good inflow notch coming into our storm right here. And then we've even got other isolated storms now beginning to fire all the way down the line. So we're going to continue to watch these. In fact, let's take a look at those as we kind of bounce back here to the west. So we've got a storm right here just to the northwest of Leoti, Kansas. Okay, so this is in western Kansas. Conditions very favorable right in here for some very large hail. We're talking baseball, softball size hail out here. But you can see already this storm just went up, already producing golf ball size hail. Already has a severe thunderstorm warning. We've got more storms. These will go severe very quickly back here in southwest Kansas. So this is actually Colorado right here, and then this is Kansas. So we're like in the southwest corner of Kansas. These storms will quickly go severe as well. And as we continue down the line here, we've got a storm here near Boise City, Oklahoma. So as this storm continues to go up, this one will go severe as well. And actually move off to the northeast into southwest Kansas. Other storms will continue to fire all the way down in the Texas Panhandle. We actually have a severe thunderstorm watch that includes even parts of Amarillo here, so it's real hot, real unstable here in Amarillo. Conditions are favorable for hail up to 2.5 inches. That's tennis ball size in diameter. That doesn't mean Amarillo is going to get 2.5 inch hail, but it does mean that if a storm can get organized and move through this area, conditions are favorable for hail up to 2.5 inch in diameter. And this would be your biggest population center out of this. All this stuff in western Kansas and the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, those are going to be your biggest population centers. These storms will all fire and move off to the northeast or the east-northeast if they can actually make a little bit of a turn and get a little bit more inflow going into them. Let's jump back to the north. I think this is where a lot of people are looking at. So we've had 2 severe thunderstorms right now, and we're actually going to dive in and take a closer look at these 2 as well. But currently we've got one that's warned right here. This is near Singleton. It's already moved through Singleton, just south of Idaho Springs. It's moving in the general direction of Evergreen, and then it should cross over the Front Range and into Denver. We're going to have to watch this closely as it does so. There's also another little storm right here that actually produced the hail in Evergreen. We've already had $quarter and half dollar size hail in Evergreen. We're going to take a close look at that storm to see exactly what it looked like as it moved through Evergreen. So give me just a couple of minutes on that. We'll gear the radar up. We'll take a look at it and see exactly what that looked like. And then we've got other storms. We had one earlier produce some quarter size hail just to the northwest of Colorado Springs. Fairly rural area out here, so nothing major. And then we've got other storms now to the south of Colorado Springs. I think these are going to miss just to the east of all the population in Colorado Springs. So I don't expect a lot, but it did hit, I think it's Fountain right down here on the southern side. Let's take a look here. Yes, Fountain. So Fountain, Colorado right here. Let's move this over here. That way we can get it out in front. So we've got Fountain, Colorado right here. So as this storm actually moved through, it did produce some $quarter and half dollar size hail as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the zoomed up, the high resolution radar that we like to use here, just to show you exactly what we have going on here. Give me 1 second here while we load this up. All right, here we go. So here's our high resolution radar. This is what we actually use to map our storms, and we can actually take a look at this in a 3D view, which is really, really cool. But it has, you can see all the little individual pixels on these storms. So it gives us the ability to really get in and dig into these storms. Now, this storm's not going to show up real well because it's behind the mountains right now, but it does have a potential, and it just actually, I think this is a new quarter report coming from that storm. Now, as they come over the Front Range, they're going to have a potential, or at least a better environment for larger hail. So that's what we're going to have to watch. Now, these are going to be your average Denver hailstorm, right? So these are going to be high volume, lots of small hail. There's going to be nickels and pennies and dimes. It's not all one size that falls out of these. So you're going to get a lot of hail that's actually going to come down in these storms. With the larger hail having the potential, I would say probably golf ball size hail. They did issue a severe thunderstorm watch for Denver and Colorado Springs all the way up the Front Range. It includes Fort Collins. It also includes Cheyenne. And that severe thunderstorm watch says that there is the potential for hail up to 2 inches in diameter. But right now I'm going to go golf balls with the setup today, and really with the fear on some of the temperatures. It's been a little cloudy in Denver today. So we're going to have to watch that and see see if things can kind of warm up just a little bit. So let's zoom around here and let's take a look at this storm and see exactly what we have going on. Give me 1 second here. We're gonna take a look at this thing here and just see how it actually looks. All right, so we've got here, let's go ahead and move it here. We're just gonna kind of do a slow loop here. So you can see the storm here, this first one, as it came up, basically went right just to the north of Evergreen there, went up towards Golden. We were kind of curious when it came right over the Front Range, what would it do? It's still doing that right now. You kind of see right here is about where the mountains basically end here in Colorado, is right here. So as this kind of rolls up and then pops over the top of them, we're going to see what happens with that storm. So we've got one cell right here, and then we've got our other cell that's coming in here. It comes back out of the southwest. This is a much bigger storm, so we're going to have to really pay attention to this and see what it actually does when it comes across. So we might try to stay live just until that actually comes across to see if it actually has the ability to produce that larger hail. So that's going to be interesting to watch. Let's go back out to the live view, the panned out view here, so we can see exactly all the different pieces of what's going on here while we wait for that storm to actually come out here. So we're going to switch here. We're going to transition that one over, and let's take a look here. Let me get our, all right, let's zoom this back out just a little bit here. So we're going to kind of get an overview of what's going on here, because there is a lot of stuff, a lot of activity that's been going on. You can see, so our green up here, this is our entire risk area for hail. Okay, this is only focused on hail, what we have on the map right now. So this is not your SPC outlook that has wind, tornadoes, and hail. This is only hail. So we've got a marginal risk up here, and we had that for good reason. Again, we had a couple of storms up here in Minneapolis that produced some quarter-size hail. That would be severe. We've got another storm up here in southwestern North Dakota. You can see that one is severe, potential of quarter-size hail with that storm. Right now, South Dakota, pretty calm, pretty quiet. But as we head back in here to eastern parts of Wyoming, storms are beginning to fire. So we've got Wheatland is right over in here somewhere. They seem to be getting hit every day, so we'll see if they can keep that trend going. Cheyenne is right down here, so we'll see if Cheyenne can actually get hit here as we go through the afternoon. Again, and then Denver's right down here with a severe thunderstorm warning right now just to the west of Denver as that main storm rolls across. See, we've even got a lot of just kind of splash and dash thunderstorms, a lot of small pea-sized hail with this, as this upper level disturbance that's right out here as it rolls out into the northern plains here. That's what's causing all of our severe weather, and that's going to continue for tomorrow actually. So we're going to see that risk area shift more to Kansas and Oklahoma as we go through the afternoon tomorrow, but definitely looks like a potential for some pretty significant hail possibly in Kansas and Oklahoma for the day tomorrow as well. So again, this is what we've got going. So right now we've got 3 different watch areas. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch that covers basically all of the Front Range. So basically from east central Wyoming all the way down to basically Pueblo, Colorado. We have severe thunderstorm watch. This watch says that there is a potential for hail up to 2 inches in diameter, and I think that's pretty spot on. Again, if we zoom in here on Denver, this is kind of some of my concern. But Denver is pretty good at overcoming this stuff as well. But look at these temperatures in here. So we got 64 in Broomfield. We got 63 right now in Boulder. We've got 65, 69 at the airport right now at DIA. 64 down here in Centennial. Centennial actually getting a couple of showers right now from some storms that looked like they were going to have a chance down here by Castle Rock. There might even be a pea or two. A little bit of hail with that storm just south of Castle Rock. Maybe somebody can chime in and let us know what they're seeing there. But definitely there is some activity there that we'll have to kind of keep an eye on and can continue to watch across that part of the area. So that's what we got here. Let's go ahead and take one last look here at the close-up here and see if anything has changed with our storm. So we're going to transition that over. We're going to take a look here. Let's pause it and see where we're at here. Again, so the storm is still here. We still have our warning here. This is our polygon right here. This warning is for quarter-size hail right now. Again, moving through Evergreen as we speak. and it's going to basically just come right over the mountains here, and it's going to take it about 20 to 30 minutes. The way it looks right now with the current pace, 15 minutes maybe, as it comes across, and then it's going to basically roll through Lakewood, Denver, Wheat Ridge. It's going to move through this entire area up here. Ken Carl may even have a chance here. We'll see kind of how it rolls out. You can see the marker come up just a little bit here, so it's starting to get a taste of moisture, and so we're going to see what it does when it rolls over the Front Range and makes it out into the plains. So again, we'll keep watching this. We're going to watch all these storms, lots of lightning, lots of thunder, lots of stuff to watch. We're going to continue to watch that and let you know what's going on. That's going to be it for this update right now. So again, we're going to wait for this storm to roll over into Denver. If it does so and looks like it's going to produce hail, we'll come back live. We're going to let you know. We're going to keep you up to date through the afternoon and let you know exactly what's going on. Again, we hope everybody's having a great Memorial Day, and we look forward to chatting with you hopefully a little bit later on. Take care.